bit like you, me, you. Nowhere, man. Please listen. What you're missing. Nowhere, man. The world is at your command. Hello, everybody. Oh, welcome to Lunchtime Beatles Trivia. Yeah, right? Okay, so um, I'm Sharon Schultz, also known as the Bay Lady. Why did that work? Let's see. All right. Yeah, also known as the Bay Lady. And let's see. Okay. Um, because most of my tours are virtual tours, which are in and around the Chesapeake Bay area of Maryland. Chesapeake Bay comes out right up the center of Maryland. We have a western shore and an eastern shore, and mountains in between. We've got it all here, all types of weather seasons. We've got the coast, we've got the mountains, we've got the farmlands. It's a good place here. We have it all. So, let's see what's going on here. All right. Um, anyway, Beatles trivia is just something that I like, I love. So, yeah. So we're going to go with this. And then I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my screen together here. For some reason, I'm being blocked from seeing comments. Crazy, right? Don't know why. Okay, all right, well, let's get down to business anyway, right? Okay. All right, Beatles Significa. It's a deck of cards that I've had since 1982. It's 832 questions and answers about the Fab Four. Okay, so that's kind of a cool thing. And that's what we use here for Beatles trivia. Okay, so I am going to randomly pick a card. Yeah, more random, thank you. Okay. Alexa, reduce volume a little. Better, right? Okay, cool. All right, question number one. Are you ready? Ooh, whose entire speaking part in Hard Day's Night movie was the single word prisoners? Okay, I'll read it again. Whose entire speaking part in A Hard Day's Night movie was the single word prisoners with a question mark at the end? All right. Any takers? Any guessers? Yes, no, maybe so. And the answer is Patty Boyd. The answer is Patty Boyd, who would eventually become Patty Harrison. Okay, that would be George's wife. Next question. Identify the Star Club song Up in Harlem at a Table for Two. There were four of us, me, your big feet, and you. Oh my God. Let me read this again. I love it. Okay. Identify the name of this song that was evidently played at the Star Club, and that went like this. Up in Harlem at a table for two, there were four of us, me, your big feet, and you. Anybody? Anybody? Anybody know? The answer would be, oh my God, the name of the song is Your Feet's Too Big. Why would we want to know that? Your feet's too big. Why would we know that? The man who produced the Yellow Submarine movie and co-wrote the screenplay was named Al. Who? Who wasn't his name? Who is his name? No, I'll read again. Excuse me. The man who produced the Yellow Submarine movie and co-wrote the screenplay, his name was Al. Who? Al. Who? Al. Al Brodax. Al Brodax. It's spelled Brodax. Last name Brodax. Never heard of him. Who plays the harmonica in Love Me Do? Who plays the harmonica in Love Me Do? I know this one is. Yep, John. What 1970 George Harrison song grew out of gospel type chord changes played by Billy Preston in a dressing room on tour with Delaney and Bonnie? I'll read that again. What 1970 George Harrison song grew out of gospel type chord changes played by Billy Preston in a dressing room on tour with Delaney and Bonnie? That's a long sentence. That was all one sentence. It was a paragraph sentence. How to put a paragraph in a sentence. Keep reading. Okay. Anyway, the answer, what song? My Sweet Lord. My Sweet Lord is the answer. That's fair. Okay. For the BBC, for the BBC, the Beatles sang a Chuck Berry number about travels such as working the filling station called Too Much. Oh, these sentences are complicated. Let me read it again. For the BBC, the big Beatles sang a Chuck Berry number about, I guess it's travails, such as working in the filling station called Too Much. Good question. Too much what? Oh, Too Much Monkey Business. Anybody familiar with that song? No, I'm not. The most devoted Beatle fans who staked out the Beatles office building were called what? The most devoted Beatle fans that used to stake out the Apple headquarters there in London, right? What were they called? Anybody know? I know. Anybody know? No? Yes? How about Apple Scruffs? That would be the answer. Apple Scruffs. All right, next. Who wrote and originally recorded Anna? Go to him, in parentheses. The song Anna, parentheses, go to him, close parentheses. Who wrote and originally recorded Anna, go to him? I want to say John. No, wasn't even a Beatle. Arthur Alexander. Who is he? Arthur Alexander. I do not know. All right. Before we do any more, I need to see. I'm trying to figure out why. No, that's not it. I'm trying to figure out why Let me in. All right, there we are. Okay. All right, so fill in the Star Club lyric. This is one of those fill in the annoying fill in the blanks things. Okay. Okay, so red blank in the blank, way out to sea, will carry my loved one home safely to me. Anybody? Okay. The answer is red sails in the sunset. Red sails in the sunset. Um, you guys, just so you know, I don't have a chat box going on here. So if you guys are writing back and forth, we feel free to write back and forth to each other because I can't see what you're talking about. Okay. In 1969, which Apple artist recorded Hoagie Carmichael's Stardust with an arrangement by Paul McCartney? So, which Apple artist back in 1969, which Apple artist recorded Hoagie Carmichael's Stardust with an arrangement by Paul McCartney? Anybody know? Who do we want to say? Badfinger, maybe? They used to do a lot. Let's see. Oh, nope, it was Ringo. Really? Which Apple artist? It was Ringo. That's right. He was an Apple artist, wasn't he? Oh my goodness, that's funny. Okay. What group originally? What group originally had a hit with "Twist and Shout" in 1962? Okay, so the Beatles recorded "Twist and Shout." John sang it, but it had been done before, right? So who was it that originally had a hit with "Twist and Shout" back in 1962? Let it be. Let it be. And the answer is the Isley Brothers. I wouldn't have guessed them. I wanted to say Chuck Berry. Okay, I will. Mary Hopkin was given what Lennon-McCartney song that had this line? Far away, my lover sings a lonely song and calls me to his side. Far away, my lover sings a lonely song and calls me to his side. What Lennon and McCartney tune is that? Do you suppose? Anyone? No. That would be a song called Goodbye. Goodbye is the title. Next, another Star Club question. At the Star Club, George sang Her Name Drives Me Insane in what song by Tommy Rowe? At the Star Club, George sang Her Name Drives Me Insane in what song by Tommy Rowe? I remember Tommy Rowe, but I don't remember the name of his band. Wasn't it Tommy Rowe and something? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it was just Tommy Rowe. Anyway, okay, so the answer is Sheila. The name of the song is Sheila. Sheila. Okay, next. If the Paul McCartney penned "Come and Get It," what is it? And okay, in "Come and Get It," the song written by Paul McCartney, what was the it? If you want it, here it is. Come and get it. In the Paul McCartney penned "Come and Get It," what is it? Well, shall we see? It is money. Come and get it. Money. Okay. The second version of "Love Me Do" has what prominent instrument that the original single version lacks? Okay, the second version of Love Me Do has an extra instrument that wasn't in the original version. So, what prominent instrument might that be? In the second Love Me Do? Tambourine. Okay, it was tambourine. Okay, identify the song, the singer, and the group. 36 hours rolling in pain. Identify the song, the singer, and the group. 36 hours rolling in pain. It's not clicking any circuits in my head. I don't know the answer. Not at all. Does anybody know the answer? All right. The answer, Cold Turkey by John Lennon and the Ono Plastic Ono Band. Cold Turkey by John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band. That was interesting. Yes, yes. All right. Time to pull another card here. Is anybody out there? Looks like, huh? Looks like people are kind of popping in and out from what I can see. I can't see the comments, but I can certainly see the numbers that it shows me when it decides to do that. All right, what song sung by John starts, "You know, if you break my heart, I'll go. You know, if you break my heart, I'll go. But I'll be back again." How about that? Okay, so what's the name of that song? What's the name of the song? Do you know? I sang it for you. I'll be back. Sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. Okay. Whom did Marie McGuire teach to read and write? Who's Marie McGuire? Whom did Marie McGuire teach to read and write? I don't know who she is, therefore I don't know who she taught. So, shall we find out? Of course. Richard Starkey, that would be Ringo. Oh, yeah, you know what? I mean, I wouldn't know her name, but as a child, Ringo had some health issues and he lost like a year or more of school because of it. So he had tutoring to catch him back up once his health had been resolved. I bet that I knew that. I didn't. Whoops. According to I'll Cry Instead, okay, the song I'll Cry Instead, I got a chip on my shoulder that's bigger than what? A line in the song I'll Cry Instead. I got a chip on my shoulder that's bigger than, I don't know, bigger than what? Bigger than me, bigger than you, bigger than a boulder. I don't know. All right, let's see. What? Bigger than, got a chip on my shoulder bigger than my feet. For real. I've got a chip on my shoulder that's bigger than my feet. You know, they seem to have some things about feet and Star Club, don't they? Interesting. What group, or at least, let's see, what group, which at least partly owns its origins to Beatlemania, sold more records than the Beatles and the Rolling Stones combined in 1967? Okay, this is a good one. What group, which at least partly owes its origins to Beatlemania, sold more records than the Beatles and the Rolling Stones combined in 1967? Well, if that's not an interesting question, and I'm trying to think of who it could have been, because if it, I would have said the Rolling Stones, but it's more than the Rolling Stones and Beatles combined, so it's not the Stones. But that would have been so who else rode on the Beatles' coattails? Who was coming out of England then? Oh, I guess it could be American too. The Beach Boys, right? All right, let's find out. The monkeys. Oh my God, the monkeys. Oh, that is funny. I like the monkeys too. They were so cute. All right. I like their TV show too. I also like the Beatles. The Beatles had a cartoon once upon a time. Oh my gosh, it was so good because I think it was probably 30 minutes long, 30-minute TV segment. And at the end of each one, they would play a song. And that was always the highlight of music. Okay. Uh, what two instruments does Paul play on The Fool on the Hill? What two instruments does Paul play on in The Fool on the Hill? That was on what Magical Mystery Tour album, correct? Okay. And the answer is flute and recorder. Well, they're pretty close to, they're probably similar instruments, right? The flute and the recorder. Oh, okay. The photographer who shot album cover photos of the Beatles in the EMI stairwell 7 years apart was named Angus. Okay, Angus, the photographer who shot cover photos of Beatles hanging in the EMI stairwell 7 years apart. What was his last name? He was Angus. Ooh, 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 ooh. Angus McBean. Bean. McBean. Never heard of him. Sorry, Angus. Who was the first of four? No, which was the first of the four Beatles songs to incorporate sun in the title? Oh my goodness. Which was the first of the four Beatles songs to incorporate the word sun in the title? And it gives us a hint. It was on Beatles for Sale. But I think Beatles for Sale was the British version of whatever album was released here. They made exceptions sometimes. They weren't always the same. Okay. So the first one, I'll Follow the Sun. It was a pretty song. Follow the Sun. All right. Last question. The singer on Bebopalua and Hallelujah, I Love Her, so was the Star Club manager named Horst. The singer on Bebop Baloo and Hallelujah, I Love Her So, was the Star Club manager named Hurst. Hurst Fashion. Hurst, Horst, last name Fasher, Fascher. All right, guys. Come on, baby. Work it on it. This little girl. Okay, all right. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed our Beatles lunchtime trivia. I hope you'll join us again next Wednesday at noontime. And hopefully, I'll have this chat thing fixed by then. But anyway, have a good rest of the week, folks. Bye.